everybody, it's Mrs. Behrens. I'm here with your ecosystem science lesson for Thursday, October 22nd. Our lesson today is going to be focused on setting up our aquarium. So far, we have been focused on our terrarium, which is the land part of our ecosystem. Today, we're going to start making our aquatic part of the ecosystem. Aquatic, or aqua, means water, and that means that we will be making an aquarium full of water and aquatic organisms. Just like we used for our terrarium, I have a 2-liter pop bottle, but instead of using the top half, we're using the bottom half to make our aquarium. I've already put the aquarium gravel in, and you can see it here as I hold it up close to the camera. The gravel is a special gravel that provides stability for the aquarium and spots for our organisms to grow and hide. It just makes them feel more comfortable, like it is an aquatic ecosystem out in nature. So I filled the bottom of our aquarium with gravel. The next thing I'm going to do is add the water. And this water is water that has been treated so that it doesn't have any of the harmful chemicals or minerals, components that you might find in water that comes out of our sink. If you were to put organisms in tap water that just comes out of the sink, they might die. It's not a great water for them to live in. So I actually have water here that has been treated to make it more like the water you would find in an aquatic ecosystem in nature. As I was pouring that water in, you can see that the water is not entirely clear, right? Our aquarium is going to have 3 different plants in it, and those 3 plants are algae, duckweed, and elodea. The first one, algae, is what is actually making this water kind of greenish right now. I'm going to hold it up to the camera. You can see little things floating around in there. That is not the algae. That is just sediment and things that were stuck in the gravel when I poured the water out that came out. But if you look at the aquarium as a whole, you'll see that it kind of has a greenish tint to it. That is actually because there is a teeny tiny little plant in the water called algae. It is so small that you cannot see each individual one. But it is an important part of the ecosystem. It is something that other organisms eat and rely on, and it is part of our aquarium ecosystem now. So that's the first plant that we have, is algae. The second plant that I'm going to add, as you watch, is called duckweed. I'm going to try to hold it up to the camera here. You can sort of see it. If you look in this assignment, I have attached a better photo of the duckweed so you can look at it really closely. Duckweed is another very small aquatic plant. It's actually the smallest plant in the whole world that has a root. So that's kind of interesting. Duckweed plays an important part in our aquatic ecosystem as well. So I'm going to add that to our aquarium. You can look in here, see those little green things floating around in the water and on the surface of the water. That is the duckweed. The third plant that I'm going to add to our, try to make it see it, aquarium is called elodea. Elodea is a bigger plant. Hold it up to the camera here. It is an aquatic plant, which means that it grows in the water. It's interesting because you'll see that it does have roots down on the bottom, but those roots are not in the soil right now. So I'm going to put 2 elodea plants in the aquarium, just like that. This will make our aquarium feel more like an aquatic ecosystem that you would find in nature. Usually if you look in lakes or ponds or streams, you will find different aquatic plants that have bigger leaves and stems that fish and snails and other aquatic organisms like to eat and live on and hide in. It'll just make it a better habitat for the organisms that we will eventually add to our aquarium.